Today we're going to talk about filling a skip. Oh man, it was glorious weather before and it's suddenly gone mega windy, so I'm having to film this from echoey porch. But today I'm going to show you my approach to filling a skip. But today I'm going to show you how to fill a skip. Believe it or not, there is a science to it and there's a knack to it, and if you do it the right way, well, right, this is my approach to filling a skip. Anyone who runs waste management companies, please post in the comments and tell us if the way that I'm doing it is causing you a massive pain in the backside, and I will post a follow-up video if needs be. So today we've got a bog standard 8 cubic yard skip. That's like a builder's skip. Typically cost, 250, 300 quid or thereabouts, but you can get a lot of stuff in them, which is great. Unfortunately, I haven't scored for one with a drop front on, which is a shame, but it's just, sometimes you'll get one with a drop front and you can barrow stuff into them, and sometimes you don't. It's just luck of the draw, really. So this one, I'm going to have to kind of lift everything over the sides. But, I mean, you can build an elaborate array of ramps if you really want, but you'll be fine. So what I have done in advance of the skip coming, and I know I'm a little bit OCD, I've got a pile of metal over there, which I'm hoping the scrappy will take before I need to worry about it. I've got squishy stuff like garden waste over there, general builder's rubble, lots and lots of builder's rubble down here. And I've also got a pile of kind of wood and miscellaneous stuff over here. I do try and kind of sort stuff out before the skip arrives because it makes it much quicker to fill the skip. And if you don't do that, other people will end up putting stuff in your skip before you get a chance. Which is, by the way, if you see a skip, you do not put stuff in it without asking whoever has rented the skip. Skips are expensive to rent. And if you put stuff in it, especially if you overfill it with stuff without asking, that can cause a real headache for either the builders or the homeowner or whoever has hired the skip. I've also got stuff sorted out in here. I've got various bags of rubble that I'll just empty in. I'm not going to put the rubble in the bags because it doesn't really serve a purpose and it'll take up less space if I empty the bags into the skip, but that's dead easy to do. I've got some random bags of like old wallpaper and stuff. That'll just go in the bags. It'll squish down really well, so that'll go at the bottom. Ignore the insulation, I'm keeping that, but I've got an enormous pile of wood here, and we'll come back to all that in a minute. I'll also show you what I've got outside if it's not too windy. We shall see. It's quite windy. Might be too windy to film. I'll try and keep my back to the wind. But I've also sorted out lots of piles of garden waste. Squishy stuff, basically. So I've got a big pile there ready to go in. I'm going to wood chip this pile, so ignore that. Oh my God, wall ties. I'm sick of the sight of them. Another. Good God. I must have picked up about 100 of these. So, round the back, more stuff. I might burn that, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to have room in the skip for all that today. But I've got more squishy stuff over here. So a pile of just garden waste. This tends to be like really evil stuff that I don't want to have to worry about, like brambles and thorns and rose bush cuttings. More squishy stuff, and a random pile of rubbish that needs to go in the skip as well. I don't think I'm going to have room in the skip for all this and taking the shed down and whatnot. I do still need to do that, but I don't think I'm going to have room in this skip. Watch this space. So, my tactics for skip filling. First of all, flat stuff at the edges. And I'm going to do, on this quite big 8-yard skip, I'm going to have enough room for 2 layers of flats down the right and left hand side. And then I'm going to put squishy stuff in the middle because the squishy stuff will all get compressed. So all the garden waste, most of the garden waste, is going to go towards the bottom. If you've got a lot of garden waste, then you can do it in layers because you'll probably find it'll squish down better if you put like a layer of garden waste and then a layer of rubble and then a layer of garden waste and then a layer of rubble. Again, let us know if you run a waste management company whether or not that causes a proper pain in the backside at your end when you're sorting it all out. I don't think it does because it all just gets emptied out anyway. So I'm assuming that doesn't cause a problem. But it compresses down better if you do soft stuff at the bottom. Basically, flats at the sides, soft stuff at the bottom, rubble, more soft stuff if you've got it, and then rubble on the top, and that saves like soft stuff blowing out the top of the skip basically. Anyway, let's start filling it and I'll come back. Right, that is us done for today, and you'll see the skip's nearly full. It looked quite full just when I'd filled it with the garden material, but that compresses down so well once you get all the other stuff on top. We've got all the squishy stuff at the bottom. We've got loads of the wood and everything on top of that. I did a layer of rubble on top of that as well, just to kind of compress it down. So we've cleared out all of the wood from inside the house. We've cleared out all the rubble bags. All the squishy stuff from the back of the house is gone as well. And we've just got quite a lot of rubble still to go. But I'm going to leave this overnight and you'll be amazed with all the heavy stuff in that skip and the soft stuff on the bottom. You'll be amazed that'll drop down a little bit by the morning. So we shall come back in the morning and continue filling. Right, following day, and the weather's a bit better today as well, and you can see things have compressed down pretty nicely. We've got a nice kind of gap, still a bit windy. We've got a nice gap in the middle there, and we've got a gap at the front here, easy to get to. I mean, this timber will never compress down really, but everything around there where we've put all the heavy stuff, we've got plenty of room. The only thing I'm not sure about, I've got this couple of boards at the front here, and I've just weighed them down with some bricks and whatnot, but I mean, it's not above the fill level. I think it'll be fine. They should probably put a net over it anyway. Got all this to shift, probably about a ton of stuff there. There's all the stuff at the front of the skip and all over the ground and everything, just the way the builders have left it, unfortunately. And there's another good ton of rubble and whatnot at the front here. So fair bit to do yet, but plenty of room in that skip. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm wearing odd gloves, it's because I've managed to wear a hole in one of my gloves, but such is life. Let's get this done. If you're ever doing demolition work, always put your rubble on a solid surface such as 18mm boards or whatever. I've found old melamine sheets work really well if you're doing a kitchen rip out. Just flatten the cabinets, lay out the boards on the ground and put your rubble on top of that. It's no use just chucking some plastic down since it's literally impossible to shovel this stuff up without getting on your hands and knees. I'd also suggest trying to keep your fine rubble separate from bricks and things, because trying to shovel up the fine rubble and then hitting a brick, it just makes life more difficult. So if you separate it out, you'll thank me down the line. In an ideal world, hire a skip loading dumper since they make life infinitely easier. This isn't my work though, and if you want to know more about what went on with our builders, you can watch a video all about that over on the member zone, link in the description. Such as life, took a couple of days and we had to reseed the front lawn, but we got sorted in the end. I've managed to clear pretty much everything. I mean, to be fair, there's still about a ton of stuff between everything down there and everything at the front, but I can't really get to it until the skip's gone anyway, so I'll do that later. It'll become sub-base for my shed, so I'm not too bothered. I think we'll be alright with that, and it'll settle a bit more anyway. They'll put a net over it, but yeah, do be careful, don't overfill. Always check your skip contract, don't put stuff in the skip that you're not allowed to put in the skip. You'll also see just at the front here, I've stacked up a couple of bricks just to kind of, if anything does slide down, I mean it shouldn't, because it's all pretty well kind of held in by itself, but these bricks are kind of held in by everything above, and it'll stop anything, like bits like that. Just do the skip driver a favour and don't leave stuff that's literally just about to fall out. I did have to take the big joists out, unfortunately. Well, fortunately in a way. There's really nothing wrong with them, and I can use them on future projects. They're good, you know, they're probably at least 10 quid each, 10 or 20 quid each to buy that kind of timber again. And as I say, there's nothing wrong with it. Everything else that I can't fit in, sub-base for me shed. If you've got any extra tips that you think would be useful, pop them down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I do make much more interesting videos than videos about skips. For now, take care folks. Tatty bye.